Good morning and welcome to my channel. Um, I want to talk about the ultimate spiritual work, that the ultimate spiritual work is integrating it into our actual life, the practical practices of the spiritual work, being able to find that balance between those invisible realms, the thought processes, the spiritual aspects of it, and the actual physical body, your actual physical self being, and being able to apply practically all of the things that you understand in the spiritual world and all of the patterns that you can see and the patterns of behavior, and stand in those truths so strongly that they become a natural integrated part of your physical life as you go through life, and as you go through your daily tasks, having those things also applied in your life. And I can see this in myself. What is bringing this up for discussion within me is that a lot of times I will share the things that I understand, or downloads that I receive, or understandings and the spiritual aspects of it, or yeah, things that I understand with emotions, or kind of guidance for the higher levels and the understanding of it all. But when it comes to the practicality, how do you apply that into your life? And what I'm finding also within myself, because I am also on this journey, I'm also on a self-discovery journey. And part of my journey is sharing my journey in a way that others can, because knowledge is free. Knowledge is in existence. All we're doing is uncovering knowledge. So as I uncover knowledge and find aspects within myself and find truths within myself, I share them so that it can help others understand what they are going through, and maybe be able to see it through this perspective and apply it into their own lives. Of course, each of us have our own paths and our own realizations, but if it helps sometimes to be able to see what knowledge that others have already uncovered, and it helps us expand in our own life. And part of what I'm finding is that with the personal things, a lot of times it's more difficult for me to share, and the personal things are the things that are actually happening in my life that have preceded many of these realizations, or many of these downloads. Like I say all the time, our progress is happening layer on layer on layer, right? So as we're going through the spiritual awakening, we are understanding one part and one part and one part. And this is, as we go through life, we are interacting with life, and getting stimulation from life, and getting, as we input into this 3D realm, or as we input into life, we get the output, right? So it's like put in a program, push enter, see what happens, and whatever reflects back to you, either in way of relationships or whatever it is in your world, right? You are always stimulation with the world, and you are always in interaction with the world, and you are learning through this interaction. Without interaction in the world, there is no knowledge, there is no uncovering, there is no realization, there is no expansion, right? Imagine that you are in a shell, right? This body, this avatar is your shell, and through this body you experience life through your senses, through your sensual senses, I should say, like touch, taste, smell, seeing, hearing, our main senses that allow our avatar to experience this realm. But imagine if you were born without any of those senses. You would not be able to learn anything. So all of our learning, all of our expansion is based on our connection to the world outside of us. If we didn't have that connection through any of our senses, imagine we would just be pure consciousness, pure potential. If we didn't have our senses, we would just be pure potential with no knowledge attached to it. Nothing to no interaction would give us no stimulation, would give us no expansion, would give us no knowledge. So you can see us ourselves as these infinite beings of potential, and we are interacting with the world, and how we interact with the world is what gives us that reflection, and what allows us to learn, and what gives us expansion. And when we understand, let's say we're going through life and we're touching life, we're touching, even watching this video is stimulation. It is you touching the world in a way, touching my life and what I am bringing to. And so our energies are connecting in this way. Now we are interacting with each other, each of us playing our own part, but we are interacting with each other and become part of each other's consciousness. And even if it seems like it's blind, it's not. We are connected. We are vibrational beings, and we're all connected to the same field, and those connections are happening. To those who are more in tune and more sensitive to it, can feel it, and also play with it. Play with those energies, because we can send messages, receive messages, and when you are connected to the field and you know that you become a creator with intent, an intentional creator, an intentional being. As we purify ourselves, that's where we're going, into the field, into pure consciousness. But you could see it, you could see that also in a way that we are pure consciousness with unbounded potential. When you look at it, like take away all your senses, you can see that whatever is inside is just pure consciousness, pure potential. And then add the senses, we're still that pure potential. Anything is possible for us. We get to set the rules, and now we're breaking out of that crust. And so the ultimate spiritual work is the application of it in the physical plane, because this is the plane in which your life plays out. This is the plane in which you get to be all that you want to be, or what you will be. This is where you will it to be. Once we're out of this body and out of this avatar, we go back into just being pure potential, because this body is what allows us to grasp and to collect that even the thoughts and the memories and the collection of who we believe ourselves to be, and our life experience is collected within this avatar. Once we hand over the avatar, we may be more expanded as a being, and have expanded ourselves, our aspects of God, our God being, our essence. But we are going back into pure consciousness with no attachments to it. I found this, and I make sometimes I'll do something with it. It's a good memory. I found this during making this video. It'll be a reminder to this. You know how we can implant reminders by let's say, if you feel a certain feeling and you smell a certain smell, you attach that smell to that feeling, and then in the future, as long as you don't overstimulate yourself, in the future, whenever you smell that smell, it will bring back up that emotion. That's how we do a lot of healing, through our sense of smell, or through other senses, sense of taste. We feel something, we attach we attach a physical representation of smell, sight, sound, music. So that's how we can heal ourselves. Through every single one of our senses, we have keys to our healing. And so the application of it. And so getting back to what even instigated this whole conversation for me, it was realizing that a lot of times I don't share personal things that happen. I share the idea and the realization that I came to, but the practical application of it in life and why that came up, I find to be very intimate and personal. And in actuality, it is something that can help connect it to the physical world. So a lot of times when we have these high ideas and we understand something way up in the sky, it's like when you learn algebra, but you don't know how to apply algebra to the practical world. So it's kind of the same idea. When we have these deep understandings and we can see these patterns, but we don't know how to apply them into the physical world, then there is going to be that gap that I talk about, the gap in between what I believe and what I do. So the ultimate spiritual work is applying the knowing to your actual actions that you take. So I'm making a mental note here for myself to bring more of that, bring more of the authentic part, share parts of how it is applicable, how it came to be, how I realized what I did realize, more the story of it, as well as the understanding of it. So it's just a mental note to self, and also sharing that so that that can be, so that you can also see that it's not just doing the spiritual work and being up here high in the clouds all the time. You have to take that and apply it into your work and marry the two, marry the higher realms and the physical realm together, to where you are coming into, I am as well, we are coming into our solid one, and being internally, closing that gap in between the different realms. It's like finding that perfect place of balance. It's like finding, like, this earth, this whole plane that we live on is an example of that. It is a place where time, matter, energy, and space all met. And so we have to find that perfect balance within ourselves, where all of the different aspects of self meet in one. So we have to align ourselves, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally, align ourselves back to a perfect balance, finding that balance. It's also marrying our emotion and our mind to where our belief system, to where they are all aligned and one. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to reach out, my contact information is below. If you need more help or support, my website is there. Thank you for watching.